Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today is a brand new kind of video for my channel. I was talking to Julie from Nobody's Beauty Guru, I'll link her channel down below, and she was saying that she wanted to do a collab with somebody but she didn't really want to do another Project Pam. So we then came up with the idea of, well, she came up with the idea first of all that we do a sort of best and worst kind of thing. And then I suggested, that sounds like a great idea. Why not let's do it as a series kind of thing? So one video based on one thing, like today's video is going to be on foundations and concealers. And then 2 weeks from now, it'll be on something else. And then 2 weeks from then, it'll be on something else until we basically go through all of our makeup collection. And we're going to talk about the products that we most enjoy and the ones that didn't work out so well for us. There are a bunch of other ladies doing this with us. I'll link as many as I can down below in the description box. But this is strictly not a panning type collab. This is just us talking about the makeup that we enjoy the most and give a few suggestions. As I go through the products, what I'll do is I'll link stuff down below as well. So like what I've talked about, where to find it, and the price as well. So this category was a little bit difficult for me just because I don't actually own any of the items that I'm going to be talking about. But I did make a list, so we're just going to go through it together. First of all, my favourite I has to be the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Liquid Foundation, or whatever it's called. I love the way it goes onto my skin. At first, I wasn't so attached to it, because I found that it broke down really easily with my oily skin. And then I found some primers that work really well at keeping me matte, and I fell in love with the foundation. So if you're still looking for a primer that will keep you matte throughout the day, maybe not the best foundation for you, but for me, I like to go for primers that are going to make me like seriously really matte, like the Becca Ever Matte. Rimmel do the Stay Matte primer as well, that's really good. Anyway, this video is not about primers, this is about foundations. Urban Decay Naked Weightless Foundation, or whatever it's called, is amazing. I've not tried the All Nighter foundation. I would like to, but I'm a little bit concerned because it is full coverage and a lot of people have said that it can get cakey and all this sort of stuff. So maybe if I could get a sample of it, then I'd like to try it, but I'm not sure whether or not because I think it's about £25. I'm not sure whether it's worth the risk. You know, I could get the full size and not like it, and then not be able to pass it on to anyone because it's been colour matched to me, and it would just be a complete disaster. Anyway, so my worst ever foundation is actually the one that I'm wearing. It is the Rimmel Stay Matte Mousse Foundation, and that I do have the packaging for. Hold on a second. This one, I'm in the colour Light Porcelain. It's a little bit too light for me. I know I look a little bit yellow, but that's just because my light's yellow. But it is a little bit too light for me. And I don't know if it's the moussey texture or what, I don't know. But it makes my skin look gross. Like it's got all texture and holes and pores, and it's just weird. It just stays like a mousse on my face, which I've tried the Maybelline Dream Mousse. I used to use that all the time. That used to be my go-to foundation. And I swear that did not do this. If it did, then I looked crazy for like 10 years. But I don't like this. I would never repurchase this. I do not recommend it. There are plenty of other really good matte foundations out there, like the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I love that foundation. That foundation is amazing. It's not my favourite foundation because it is more towards the filler coverage, and I prefer like a medium coverage, like a medium to full coverage, not like a full-on coverage. So like it hides everything that it can hide without being too full-on and fully done. Yeah, that's kind of the coverage that I like. And the L'Oreal Infallible is very full coverage. That one I don't have. I have had it, and I would buy it again. But I'd probably get a mixer just to thin it out a little bit. So maybe the the Body Shop, you know, the whitening drops. Maybe put some of those in without making it too white. It'd thin it out slightly and make it more less of a full coverage. But yes, don't get this. We will find you a better matte foundation. Okay, so another foundation that I do not like, and y'all are gonna hate me, like seriously, you're really gonna hate me. I do not like the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I just don't. I got a sample from the lady at Debenhams, and she colour matched me perfectly. But what I don't know, between putting it from the bottle onto my skin, it just it was just gross, and like under my eyes would get really, really dry, and I have dry under eyes anyway, but it would seem like this foundation was making my under eyes more dry, and like I looked like a gargoyle like under my eyes. Seriously, it was horrible. It was not good. And then people were like, "Oh, you're using too much of it," and I'm like, how am I using too much of it? I'm using the teeniest amount. I've tried it with a brush, I've tried it with my fingers, I tried it with a beauty blender, and just, it was not happening. I did use it up in the end, but I had to put like a ton of moisturizing primer on underneath it for it to actually work. And I think in that case, it was even then was more, the primer was doing all of the work, whereas the Estee Lauder Double Wear wasn't doing anything. And I don't know if it stayed on all day, because I wouldn't have worn it all day. Like, I hated wearing it for 10 minutes. I would not have worn it all day. I would not have even worn it to an event or going out in the evening. Yeah, it just wasn't good. But so I'm so glad that I managed to get a sample of it and not spent the money on it. So also in this category was concealers. That I've talked about all the foundations. I've got some foundations in my collection at the moment that I'm trying out. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, which I have tried, and I really, really liked it, but the colour was wrong. So I got a new colour, and I've not been able to, you know, try it properly. So yeah, I've got that one in my collection, and I've got the, I think it's the Rimmel 24-hour, comes in like a glass. Hold on a sec. It's not Rimmel, sorry, the Revlon Colour Stay. I've got that to use up as well. That one I enjoy a lot, because I am cool toned and it is a little bit pinker. So I look less yellow and scary. But yeah, so that's everything foundation wise. Moving on to concealers, I have a list of concealers here that worked for me and one that didn't work. So the ones that I loved were the Maybelline under eye circle corrector thing, you know, the twist up thing with the sponge on the top, and the collection. It's just a collection concealer. It's one with a doe foot applicator. It's fairly famous in the YouTube community. All the beauty bloggers are using it if they can get their hands on it. A lot of the beauty bloggers out there, and you guys as well, are based in the States, and it is a UK brand. So I know that you guys have trouble getting a hold of it. But yeah, it's a great concealer. I mean, if you ever have some way of getting a hold of it, you have to try it. It is really, really good. So The one that I didn't like was the Benefit Boi-ing concealer. I just found that was too thick and cakey, so I wouldn't get that one again. And another one that I wouldn't get again, and again, you guys are going to kill me, is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete. This one. I'm in the shade Light Neutral. This is way too orange for me. Like, I should have gone, like, is it Light Cool? Is there a Light Cool? I don't know. There is one lighter than this, and possibly, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's neutral, it's orange on me, I don't know. But the lady in the store, she used Light Warm on me for my under eyes. And I assumed that was because, you know, it's orange and I have dark under eye circles. And it does work for that because it is super orange on me. But I wouldn't get it again just because it's not full coverage. I know that sounds silly because I said that I don't like full coverage foundations, but my dark circles are really, really bad. And it's because I'm so pale. It's not because I'm not sleeping, trust me. So I would rather have a more fuller coverage concealer just for my under eyes, just to hide those dark circles, and the rest just feel basically almost natural. Yeah, so I won't get this one again. I can understand why people love it. If you do enjoy, you know, light to medium coverage, then this would be amazing for you, but it just isn't for me. And I have a to-try list. So stuff that I've heard and I'm intrigued by and would really, really love to try. And on the foundation side of that, there is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I've not tried that one yet. I was put off by that because before I fell in love with my Urban Decay Naked foundation, I was very much in the way of, I have oily skin, matte everything. And people were like, if you have oily skin, don't use this foundation because it's not matte, it'll break down, blah, 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 and all this sort of stuff. And then I fell in love with the Urban Decay one. And I've used matte foundations since then, and I just haven't enjoyed them as much. So, the Urban Decay Naked foundation is demi matte. So I would like to try the Too Faced one, just to see if it is similar to the Urban Decay one, because I find that a demi matte or almost just natural finish suits me better than a matte finish, and I can just put a matte primer on underneath it, or blot, or use a powder. I bake my entire face whenever I do my makeup to go out in the evening, and I find that controls my oils all evening. So if I did that and I baked my face all evening, then I could find a really nice foundation. So, and another one is the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I've not heard much about this. Guys, tell me, is this like a full coverage foundation? Am I going to like it based on, you know, things that I've said in this video? Let me know, because that's another one that's really hyped up that I am intrigued about. Concealer-wise, Tarte Shape Tape. Seriously, as soon as this is done, I am buying the Tarte Shape Tape, because I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm really, really intrigued by it, and I very nearly almost bought it. When it first came out and I saw it, and then I was like, no, you're on your no-buy, you don't need it, you've got your Urban Decay one. No. And then everyone was like raving about it, and I was like, why didn't I get that concealer? I could have had it already. Anyway, yeah, so that's the one that I'll try next. If there's anything else that you guys think I should try, let me know. Just leave a comment down below and I will look into it. But that's everything for this video, and I will catch you next time. Take care. Bye.